Toys in Game, Comic Book Collector, and Festival. How much did Fantastic Four 1 CGC 7.0 sold for? Welcome to the top 10 high CGC comic books sold on eBay for the week of September 14th and 20th. Coming number 10, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue 129. This one came out in 1974 for its appearance on Punisher. Obviously, this Punisher will be in a Spider-Man movie next year, I believe in July 2026. And this book is graded CGC 9.6. Graded sold for $5,401 with 51 bids and $24.99 shipping. So let's go over the GPA. Over GPA right here, we have a 9.6 right here. Let's go across. This was the one, so just on eBay, 9-day average, 12-month average, 2024 average, and then this is 2023 average. So lots of red arrows. So let's go down. And then this book sold as high as $14,000. So that's a drop of $8,599. And let's go over here. In 2025, the 21 was reported. High was $6,769, low $4,717, and average $5,839 right there. And the one that was sold for $14,000 was back in 2022. Coming number 9, Walking Dead issue 1. This is a graded CBCS, a 9.9, not CGC. This one came out in 2003. Final auction price was $5,769.69 with 33 bids. And then let's go over to Heritage. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the one with CBCS for 9.9, but there's a CGC 9.9 right here. And this one sold as high as $18,000 back in November 2020. And then let's do one on the right. The one on the right sold for $16,800 back in April of 2024. And then let's do one more. And we have now Walking Dead. And this one sold for $8,962.50 back in November of 2013 there. Coming number 8. Fantastic Four issue 48, grade season 9.2. This book came in 1966. First appeared on Silver and Galactus. The sold price was $5,962 with 36 bits. So let's go over to GPA. All right, GPA right here. We have a 9.2 right here. We have the this is number just sold on eBay. 9-day average, 12-month average. 2024 average, and then 2023 average. So definitely almost half of what was today as compared to what was back in 2023 there. Let's go down here, and this book sold as high $24,000. So that's a drop of $18,038. And then over 2025, 8 was reported, and then 8,713 being the high, 5,760 being the low. And then the average is $7,254. And the one that was sold for $24,000 was back in 2022. Coming number 7, Superman issue 17. This one came in 1942. Grade CZ 6.0. Classic Hitler cover, World War II. A asking price was $7,900, and that's what it sold for. So let's go over to Go Collect. Go Collect, we have 6.0 right here. And then this is the highest ever sold for $7,900. Going to Go Collect $4,900 as a fair market value. So let's go over here. The last highest was back in $5,995. So that is an increase of $1,905. So this was back in May of 2023. And before then, there was one sold for $4,500 back in June of 2022. Coming number 6, X-Men issue 1, CZ 4.5, off-white pages. The asking price was $8,500, but it's actually sold for $8,000. So let's go over to Heritage. Over Heritage, we have 4.5 right here. This book sold as high $20,400. So that is a decrease of $12,400. This is back in June of 2021. Let's swing one over. We have one sold for 19,200, and that was back in June of 2021. Let's do one more. We have one sold for $18,000, and that was back in November 2021. There. Common number 5, Crab issue 3, CG 9.0, first appearance of the Ringmaster. This one came out in 1962 by Marvel Comics. Asking price and sold price was $11,880. Let's go over to Go Collect. Of Go Collect, we have 9.0 right here. Unfortunately, not too many data. Last high was $9,000, so that is an increase of $2,880. So let's go over here. The one that was sold for $9,000 was back in June of 2025. And then let's see, and then last one before the one before that was 6,700 back in March of 2020. Common number 4, Invincible Full Run, Silver 144, CGC, some of them were CGC copy, conventional variants, signature and second print. The asking price was $15,000, but that's sold for $12,000. Seems like we have quite a bit of Invisible complete runs over for the last couple months though. So let's see here. Type this up. We have like last week we have one for 1-144, so for 12,000. And then we have one another complete one, 9,910. And then we have another one, $9,300. And then we have another one, best offer accepted of a little less than 10,000. Let's see what these numbers are here. So this was the one that was last week, 12,000. And then this was 9,910. And then this is 9,300. And then this other one was 8,500. So yeah, Invisible Run, that you have got that from the beginning, you gotta make almost $10,000 though. But it's a good story though. I enjoyed the story on Amazon Prime. Come number 3, Giant Size X-Men issue 1. This one came in 1975 by Marvel Comics. Grade CZ 9.8 with white pages. First appearance of the new X-Men team. The asking and sold price was $22,600. So let's go over to Heritage. Over Heritage, we have a 9.8 right here. And this book sold as high as $72,000. So that's a drop of $49,400. And this was back in June 2021. We have a signature book right here, and that one sold for $66,000 back in June of 2021. And then let's go one more right here. We have one sold for $50,800 back in April 2022 there. Coming number 2 for this week, Towers of Suspense, issue 39, high grade. It's a 8.5 right here. Origin first appearance on Iron Man, greatest season 8.5. This one came in 1963. The asking price was $42,500, but it's actually sold for $35,000. So let's go over to Heritage. Over Heritage, we have 8.5 right here. This book sold as high as $99,000. So that's a drop of $64,000. This was back in November of 2021. And we have one with the old label right here. And this one sold for $69,000 back in June of 2023. All right, let's do one more. And then we have one sold for $55,200 back in August 2022. Come number 1 for this week, Fantastic Four issue 1, CGC 7.0. This one came out in 1961 by Marvel Comics. First appearance of the superhero team. Asking price was $57,500, but it's actually sold for $47,000. So let's go over to Heritage. Over Heritage, we have a 7.0 right here. This book sold as high as $81,000. So that's a decrease of $34,000. This is back in June of 2022. This swing one here. We are now 7.0 right here. And then once over $42,000. This was a couple months ago though, back in June of 2025. All right, let's do one more here. We have a signature series right here, 7.0, and so for $42,000 back in April of 2025. Okay, thank you for watching. I enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.